So over the years, I have audited hundreds of accounts. I do this for a living. I look at ad accounts, I try to improve on them, I develop them, I manage them for clients. And the one thing which I've noticed is over recent years, Google has put in so many more of these terrible little gotchas, these painful little settings, which are made to spread the targeting most often, or try to adjust how you set up your campaigns to, generally speaking, make them more money and be less efficient and less effective very often for you.
Thinks he can surprise me, eh? Cheeky bastard.
So I'm going to go through some of those key gotchas in this video for you today and try and save you some bucks. We're going to start with some of the lightest and work our way up to some of the worst, most painful errors, the settings that are most hidden and can be most destructive to your Google Ads accounts.
It's so bad!
So let's dig into it. So we're going to start at the beginning with something connected to conversions. The first obvious thing is have conversions set up.
Obviously.
This is a huge topic that I could go into endless detail about, but particularly the one that I've noticed people often get mixed up with is the difference between primary and secondary conversions, or optimization. So you see here, if we scroll over this box here, used for bidding optimizations and reporting, primary actions are reported in the conversions column, and then secondary conversions actions are used solely for observation purposes and are only reported in the all conversions column. So very often what happens is people create a big bunch of different objectives. Like let's say, for example, if you're an e-commerce store, you might have purchase and transactions coming in, but you might also have add to basket and initiate checkout. Or for us as an agency, we might have inquiry forms, or we might have other things like email leads or other contact buttons clicked or other things like that. And so when you're trying to optimize for conversions, you should really be using the complete final actual conversion. So that could be in e-commerce, generally it's purchases and the purchase conversion value. Whereas when it comes to, let's say, B2B, it's generally a complete conversion into a lead. So an inquiry form submitted or a booking of a call or something like that. And then there's secondary objectives, which is where somebody has maybe clicked a button to go to the contact page of our website, or maybe they've spent, something that I quite often use is they may have spent a certain amount of time on the website, which might be a 3-minute site visit or a 6-minute site visit. Or in e-commerce, you could say an add to basket or an initiate checkout is a common one that you might use. So these are secondary objectives because you've not actually made any money yet. There's no actual intrinsic value in somebody just going to a contact page or spending 3 minutes on a site visit. But people get this wrong. And so if you automatically keep it as primary, which is what it automatically starts as with any new conversion, then when you're running a conversion optimization bidding strategy, so maximize conversions or maximize conversion value, etc., that would take into account these secondary objectives as if they were the same value as an inquiry form.
Hey, I didn't think about that.
To be fair, maximize conversion value is focused on value, so if you'd adjusted for that, that could actually work out still. But generally speaking, in maximize conversions, especially if you have things like add to basket added in there, that can really just annihilate the results because you're focused as much on an add to basket as you are on someone actually purchasing. So you can imagine how bad that might be. So this is number one, primary and secondary conversion objectives, knowing the difference, setting them up in the right way. Number two on the terrible gotchas from Google Ads to waste your money, that is the different networks that they try to add you into above and beyond the normal search network within Google Ads. So there is the search network, which is the partners of Google Search. And then there is the display network, which is all of these kind of banner images all over the internet that you can run ads to. So these, I almost 99.9% of the time have both of them switched off.
Turn it off.
So this is a lower quality search network. Maybe if you've completely maxed everything else out within Google Ads, you could possibly look at this. But generally speaking, 99.9% of the time, turn this off.
Turn it off.
The display network it can be an effective network to use, but you want to use it in an intelligent, strategic way by creating a display campaign of its own, completely separate to search. Because if you use this, you have a search campaign set up here, but then you're going to just stick the display on top of that. And you've not set anything up for that display network. You've not set images properly, you've not set copy, etc. for that display ad. So it's a really badly set up display ad.
Boo.
That you're just sticking on top of the search campaign. And it also makes it much more difficult to judge the performance of the search campaign because it's kind of meshed in with all of this display rubbish. So we almost 99.9% of the time have both of these switched off.
Turn it off.
And they are often automatically switched on by Google when you first create a campaign, and they even try to re-switch them back on, etc. So this is really, really crucial to make sure you switch these both off.
Turn it off.
To just avoid wasting your money. And number 3 on the list is enhanced CPC. So whenever you set manual CPC, Google doesn't like this because it's extremely controlling. And so Google likes to have control to try and make more money. And often it does do a good job with giving it freedom to work. But in this case, in some scenarios, like for example, a brand campaign, which is the one that we're in here, where you're trying to target brand searches, we want to have complete control over a campaign like that. So we almost always use a manual CPC bidding strategy. But a common mistake people make is to use enhanced CPC. This is slightly controversial because in some cases, to be totally fair, enhanced is a good choice when you're trying to get an in-between, between maximized clicks maybe or manual CPC. But in the cases of brand and in many others, generally you don't want to have enhanced CPC on. What this means is you can technically go above the manual maximum cost per click that you're setting for any particular bid. And nowadays, Google can actually go pretty extremely high over that if it thinks that there's a conversion potentially available. So this is kind of rubbish because it's just Google's opinion and often it's wrong. And basically it means that it can spend way more than you want it to. So it kind of takes away the benefit of using the manual CPC bidding strategy as a nice controlled way to be really strict on what you want Google to be doing.
Wow.
So that's number 3, generally unticking enhanced CPC in many cases.
Turn it off.
Number 4, I'm going to stay in this same place. Bidding strategies being hidden. So when you first create a new campaign, if you want to use manual CPC, you literally do not even see it in the list anymore. You can see when you click to change the bidding strategy, we've got maximize clicks, maximize conversions, etc. This is so well hidden because Google doesn't want you to use it. You can see it gives you scary warnings.
Oh, so stupid.
I might add this on in this particular one as another gotcha to avoid. Just ignore most of the recommendations that Google gives you because the majority of them are based on them trying to make more money out of you, telling you to use smart bidding strategies when often that's not the best decision for the performance of your campaigns. But trying to find manual CPC, this does still exist, but you have to create the campaign first and then go back into the settings and find manual CPC by clicking a button here which would show, which is a blue button. So finding manual CPC and still using it is number 4, hidden away behind all of their automated bidding strategies.
Come out, wherever you are.
And number 5, so this is to do with locations. This is a real gotcha. This is one of the most painful. It's the second worst in my list. So this is the difference between presence or interest, presence or just search interest. So when you set a location, let's say you're a business that only works with customers in the United Kingdom, and you cannot work with people in the US. Maybe you sell products and you just do not deliver to the US or any other countries around the world. Well, then you might set the United Kingdom as your location. But when you come to this page, all you'll see is this, and it'll look like you've done the job that you need to set it to the UK. But then you might actually start to see that you're getting clicks and impressions from other parts of the world. So that would make you think, why the hell is that happening? Well, it's because of this lovely little hidden box called location options. So when you set a location, it automatically starts with it set to presence or interest. So people in or regularly in or who have shown an interest in your targeted locations. And it says recommended. It always says recommended with all the bad settings. And then this is meaning that, let's say somebody is based in India or Thailand or anywhere around the world, but they have regularly shown an interest in London or somewhere in the United Kingdom because maybe they've been on holiday there or whatever it might be, well, that would mean that you could be showing your ads to that particular person, even though they're based in, Delhi or wherever the hell. So this is obviously not good for your business, which cannot sell to anyone outside of the UK.
Why would they do that?
So what you want to do is come in and change to just presence, people in or regularly in your targeted location. This is the strictest, and this is the correct one to use in, again, 99% of the time. And it's a real gotcha that can easily mean that you're wasting money on bad locations. So number 6 on the list, this is the worst. This is the most painful gotcha, which is hidden away inside Google Ads. And that is recommendations, but not just recommendations, but the auto apply bar. So you can see in the top right corner, I just clicked into auto apply. So this is where Google will automatically do things to your account.
Boo.
So Google always gives you these recommendations to maybe switch to automated bidding strategies or all sorts of different things, switch to broad match keywords. And then if you have spoken to a Google rep or in certain scenarios when you first set up an account, they might have these ticked. So these are automated recommendations. You can select all and then, or you can click any of these. And if you do, Google will be allowed to automatically change your settings, change your campaigns, change your ads, everything.
Turn it off.
So we have seen accounts get completely annihilated by this setting because honestly, the majority of Google's recommendations are trash. So they will damage your account, they'll damage your results. We've had this once a long time ago. Really, we set up an entire campaign structure, everything perfectly for a client. And then a week into the campaigns, their automated recommendations kicked in and changed everything and completely destroyed the results for a day until we noticed it and made the changes. So this really is dangerous. Make sure you come into the recommendations at the all campaigns level, head to the auto apply button, which is on the right hand side, and then make sure all of these boxes are unticked. This is top of the list, number 6, the worst of the gotchas of the Google Ads world. Hopefully that was useful. I have tons more videos about Google Ads specifically. Head on over to, there should be some popping up at some point in this next 10 seconds. And please do subscribe. We do more videos just like this. I'm going to be doing one probably on Facebook ads as well. Some of the worst settings hidden away within the Facebook ads world. So if that might be of interest, then hit that subscribe button. And otherwise, I will see you next Wednesday.
Turn it off.